and welcome back to another episode of the Footy Social. Today we have got George, who is a Middlesbrough fan, so it's our first championship team we've had on since we started the podcast. So we will be doing a championship sort of special. We'll be talking a load of things. Daniel, what have we got lined up?
Well, I think what we should do is we should talk about the playoffs, because those are some big games. Everyone loves watching the playoffs towards the end of the season. Sort of signifies like the start of summer, really, doesn't it? And I think I'm just interested, because I don't watch a lot of Championship. I'm interested to see what players I should be looking out for, because I know some Chelsea players are on loan at Championship, but I don't know much about the other teams and other players, so it'd be interesting to have an insight on that. And then we're coming back to quizzes again. I've got another quiz. This one's a Championship themed quiz that you two are going to be taking each other on at.
This will probably be the first one I'll lose. I'll probably let it say. I think George is definitely the favourite for this.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel I made the questions easy but hard at the same time, so I think it could swing either way depending on which question you got.
I was going to do a revision this morning, but I totally forgot.
Yeah, and then we'll come back to our Prem predictions, which we've missed out for I think a month or two, to be honest. But I mean, it's just been
I've lost track of the scores, but
the schedule's just been so hectic, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. A lot of football, which we love, but when it gets to predictions, it makes it a little bit difficult. Yeah. Before we start, I'd just like to mention, obviously here with the Footy Social, we're all about our viewer feedback, and if you've got anything, if you disagree with anything, just let us know, and we'll be up for giving you our opinions and for you to give yours. But a couple of weeks ago, I think it was like a week ago, last weekend, wasn't it? We had a blackout for social media hate. So if you do have any disagreements, you can just have a chat with us and say, I disagree with this, but I agree with this, etc. And we'll be happy enough in the comments to have a chat with you back about it and what you think, and that's what we're here for, to football, everyone's opinions. Everyone's allowed an opinion in the comments and whatever they want. But when you start directing that at hate and being rude, that's when it sort of gets a bit like, well, we don't really want, that's what the blackout was for, we don't really want that on our channel. So if that is going to be the case, then we'd ask you to just not watch us, because we don't want those types of people.
I think the issue is if you use in your argument point, you don't know football, you've automatically annoyed me, because it's just one of the things where it's like you can say to me, I think you should have picked Wan-Bissaka because he's a better one-on-one defender than Reece James. Okay. Or why didn't you pick Wan-Bissaka? You don't know football. You don't watch football. Just, I mean, which point sounds better in your head? I mean,
if you make a good, I prefer Wan-Bissaka. If Southgate took Wan-Bissaka and Michael Keane ahead of Eric Dyer and Kieran Trippier, I would not care. That would be like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Yep. We're just picking our perfect squad. It's not the squad that if this squad doesn't go, I'm going to kick off. Last week we just picked a squad that we thought was good enough, and we still think is good enough. If you disagree with players, just let us know. If you go back and watch that, if you disagree with anything today, let us know. We're up for debate, but when it gets when you start directing hate at us, or even any platform on YouTube or any social media, when you start directing hate at people, it's just not nice. And you should, and if you're over the age of 16 or even 18, 16, whatever, you should definitely learn and know that's not the right way to go about things. But anyway,
enough negativity. I think we should start off with some positivity. Well, mixed positivity.
We'll talk about Middlesbrough.
How are Borough doing?
I mean, this season, bit of a disappointment, to be honest. I mean, I thought under Warnock he'd push on, get top six.
Was he there from the start of the season? I can't remember.
Yeah, he joined
mid-season last
start year. Of last season, end of last season, sorry.
Yeah.
But we have improved a lot. You know, we finished 17th, it was last season. Relegation battle.
Yeah.
I forgot how bad it was last
Warnock did save
I predicted you to go up, actually, because of Warnock. Because didn't he sort of do so were you hoping what he did with Cardiff he was sort of going to do with you?
Yeah.
Take them from like 17th to promotion. Because that's what I thought he was going to do when I saw him take over. I was like, Middlesbrough have a real shot here.
But I think the two main positions on the field, goalkeeper and striker, we need two of them. We need them both, yeah.
Who are your goal? I haven't done much research about Middlesbrough, which I probably should have. But who's your goalkeeper and striker?
The goalkeeper's Bettinelli.
Okay, the ex-Fulham one.
The one who got relegated with Fulham, wasn't he?
Minor merchant.
Is he not good enough?
No.
Marcus Bettinelli.
Yeah, and strikers, but all awful.
They got about 5 of them.
Yeah, you still got Britt Sombolonga.
He should be leaving soon. End of his contract.
Not good enough.
Just terrible.
Yeah. It's just every time I watch Middlesbrough, his effort level, which really annoys me.
That's what annoys the fans.
He's got poor effort levels.
I remember when he was at, was it Forest he came through and he was unreal. Yeah. And everyone was like, he's going to be in the Prem soon. And then Middlesbrough, did you sign him when you got promoted?
Got relegated and signed him.
He was your club record at the time, wasn't he?
Still is. 15 mil.
15 mil for British
a lot of money.
longer.
Shocking. It is shocking.
Obviously, they got the ex-West Ham striker as well.
Ashley Fletcher, yeah.
Yeah, he was a bit of a letdown for us, but we all liked him, but because he was young. But if he was like 28 and get everyone rid of hate,
He was average, wasn't he? Really.
Yeah, I would have liked to give him a bit more of a chance, to be honest. But
You did rob us though. 7 million for him. That's robbery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got Darren Randolph off you as well.
Oh, yeah.
He could have helped get you promoted. He's a quality keeper.
He's quality. For us, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was one of the best keepers I've seen at Borough, to be fair.
He always seems to impress me.
What also, I follow Darren Randolph on Instagram. What he does, which I think is class, is any hate he gets, he puts it on his story. And most of them aren't racial, which is good. But still, it's just hate saying you're crap, etc. And he puts on his story, and it's mainly Middlesbrough fans directing hate at him.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why did you leave to sit on the bench when you could be playing for us? And he just puts on his story like,
I understand why he left. You know.
Yeah, on more money. Yeah. I mean, we had him originally. I was really happy to get him back because at the time our goalkeeper's situation was terrible with Roberto.
That was that pub goalkeeper, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Worse than Kepler.
and we had Dave Martin in goal for like 10 games as well.
Didn't he play against Chelsea?
That was his
kept
debut.
clean sheet.
Yeah.
That was his debut.
Yeah, he'll live off that for the rest of his life because he's a boyhood West Ham fan. His dad played over I don't know how many games. His dad played over 400 games for us.
Yeah,
Clive.
So I mean, did you think that you were going to get automatic this season?
Definitely not, to be honest.
No, I was going to say I feel
It's
like
a
that would
hope,
be
more
a
of a
bit
hope.
of a stretch.
Yeah. I mean, the 3 relegated teams, just their squads are just too good. Especially at this level. Like even Bournemouth's team. I mean, they got top 6 in the end, but their squad is quality for a championship
Dan
team.
Juma.
Yeah.
Even
I
Solanke
can't
at
believe
this
that Watford didn't win. I know they went up, but I can't believe Watford didn't win the league.
Pedro.
Yeah.
I think Watford were just missing a striker, whereas Norwich had Pookie. Because obviously we live near Watford, so I know a lot of Watford fans. They always just said the one thing they were missing defensively, they're really good. They had a good few players creatively, just up front. Deeney, Gray, and Success. They're 3 championship strikers. Definitely, there's no Premier League quality about them 3.
Yep.
Deeney was, but not anymore. Would you take any of those as your striker? Deeney at Borough?
I'd take Deeney, to be fair.
Yeah, I think he'd do a good job.
Sounds stupid, but I would take him. He'd be a decent option.
I don't see it. He might, but I don't see him playing many minutes for Watford next season.
Not at all.
He didn't play many minutes
He
this
didn't.
season.
Nah, he was there for penalties, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because obviously he just smashed them down the middle and scores them. So
I mean, what's your targets for next season? And obviously, this is expecting a good transfer window this summer.
If we have a good transfer window, I think there's no reason why we can't get top 6.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think what you've got this year compared to last year, like you just mentioned, the 3 relegated teams last year. I mean, the Bournemouth, Watford, and Norwich squads are just very
Ridiculous,
good.
yeah.
The West Brom squad. I mean, the West Brom squad there's a few good players, but they're going to be going. Matheus Pereira is going to be going.
Yeah.
Diagne, the striker.
Diagne's going. And, I mean, Sheffield United have a League One squad, really, don't they?
Ajay, how do you say it?
Semi Ajayi.
Semi Ajayi, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, so Sheffield United.
Goalkeeper's going. Johnston's going.
Yep.
Who
else got that? Fulham have a good squad, but again, I think they're going to get.
They're all
picked
on
up.
loan. Like we had Scott on, didn't we? And all their good players are leaving, and Sheffield United. They're one of those teams like I remember Burnley did a few years back when they went down and they're too poor for the Premier League, but then when they went in the Championship, because they were just all workhorses, they just smashed it.
But I can't see there going to be an issue without Chris Wilder. I think Chris Wilder really did galvanise that squad. So I think that's automatically now 3 extra spaces that Middlesbrough can be fighting for next season, just because the quality of the squad.
Well, if you look at the playoffs,
teams are going.
Brentford or Bournemouth, they look quite good if they don't go up.
I'd kind of, in a way, want one of them to go up, so we don't have to play them next
season.
Get them
out of the way. Yeah.
Well, I want Barnsley to come up.
I think Barnsley
I want to
be a good
see
story.
it, kind of.
Yeah.
They played so well against us in the FA Cup, I remember, Barnsley. They probably should have beaten us on the day, actually. They had the better chances, but...
It'd be good for their fans to get a bit of Premiership.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair.
They haven't been in since the 90s, I think, so
it'd
be great for them. So you talked about next season, and obviously you said top 6 if you get players in. So obviously, Championship level, realistically, who you said striking goalkeeper, but any other positions, like if you had a list of a few players, like who do you want? Realistically, is anyone out there on the market, or
there's a few free agents? To be fair,
do you know any names for us?
Wayne Hennessy,
Wayne
decent keeper.
He is a good keeper.
Is he agent his contract finishes at Palace this summer?
I think Palace have something
yeah.
ridiculous, like 16 players out of contract in the summer, including I think including their manager as well. So I mean, it's unbelievable.
That's why they're going for Frank.
And I'd love like obviously we're not going to get a Chris Wood, but I'd love a type of player like that. Just someone under Warnock. A player like that would thrive. To be honest.
Who did he have under Cardiff that bought him up? Was it
is it Callum Patterson then?
Yeah, Callum Patterson. That was the one.
He's at.
He played right back
Sheffield
for
Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, you could get him. Then they've gone down.
Yeah, a lot of Sheffield Wednesday players. Like Barry Bannon.
Barry Bannon. Yeah, he's a really good player.
Yeah, he's
Akinfenwa.
Yeah, I'd have a bit of Akinfenwa.
Yeah. Any Rotherham players? Is that Crooks plays for them?
We're linked with a striker from Rotherham.
He's quite good at
Michael Smith, is it?
Is it? Yeah.
1.2 million we're talking about.
That's a lot for a League One player, isn't it?
It is.
But they have just gone down.
And it looks like another striker will be leaving. Chuba Akpom looks like he'll be leaving.
Oh, he was in. Did he play for PAOK in the Greek league?
Yeah, he was good for them.
He was good for them, and he came to you. And he's only been here for
He had a good start. He had a good start, didn't he? Chuba Akpom, but
he scored 5 this season, and that's
probably all within his first 5 games, is it?
Yeah,
a few of them were. Yeah.
What about that Blackpool striker, Jerry Yates? Do you know much about
him.
League One?
He's been good, hasn't he, this season? Yeah, I think
Dan's nodding. He doesn't have a clue who he is.
Yeah, I'm just pretending.
I think he's decent. Yeah, I haven't seen him play.
He's got good numbers anyway, and I know someone who's a Blackpool fan and like he loves him. If Blackpool go up though, they still could because they're in the playoffs. Some good players at Peterborough as well, I think.
Obviously, they got top 2. Yeah.
That Johnson Clark Harris.
I'd love him to be honest. Yeah, he'd be. I think he's suited for kind of Championship League.
Yeah.
Who do you think you should build a squad around next season that you've already got there then? Who do you think's good
Who's
enough?
your best players? Let's get on that.
Who do you think's good enough to help you get promoted?
Dale Fry is probably our best player, to be honest.
Who? Dale Fry.
Dale Fry.
Oh, I thought
the centre back.
I was like, who's Dale Fry? Oh,
yeah, he's a quality centre back.
Yeah.
He was linked with Burnley, but a Middlesbrough centre back to Burnley.
Ben Gibson. How's he doing?
Yeah,
they're probably a bit wary of that now.
Yeah, they're not gonna sign him, I don't think. But we need to build the squad around him because I think he's a Premiership quality centre back.
Yeah, if you can take him to the Premier League and he's staying, and you can build. So look, so you've given your aim for next season. What's like a 5-year aim for Borough?
Just to be established in the Premier League again. To be honest,
you had one season, didn't you? And it just sort of faded. You weren't. You could have stayed up.
Goals, did you?
Yeah, I remember that. You were good defensively, weren't you?
We were until Karanka left, and then it kind of we given up completely. Because he left in about March time.
Did he get sacked?
He got sacked, but I think he wanted to leave. To be honest,
who replaced him?
Steve Agnew.
Steve Agnew, yeah.
Oh, really?
So it wasn't a proper manager.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were predestined then when that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, is Jed Spence still knocking about? I remember you having a bit of hype about him a few years ago.
I did. He had one good game against Tottenham. He's a right back, right wing back. He's not the best, to be honest. Okay. He's really fell off.
Right.
But he's linked with, I think Everton were linked with him. 5 mil. I'd happily let him leave for that.
Yeah, it's quite strange, isn't it, that you just hear so many like youth players come out of nowhere and then they just disappear over the years, But enough of that negativity. I think let's talk about the playoffs for this year.
Yep.
So obviously, I would assume you've watched these 4 teams a lot more. So we've got Barnsley, Bournemouth, Swansea, and Brentford obviously. So
it's Brentford, Bournemouth, and Swansea, Barnsley, which is interesting because I think Brentford and Bournemouth are the 2 best teams.
Yeah. Yeah. So automatically, that's one of them gone. Well, so what do you reckon? What do you reckon your predictions are coming at it from somebody who probably knows the teams a bit more than us?
Well, I think it's in the semi-finals. It's Brentford, Bournemouth, isn't it? I think that's one of the.
Yeah.
So at least one of them good teams is going to be out. So I think it will be. I'm not a fan of Swansea, to be honest.
I think they're the worst team.
They're the worst out of it, definitely.
Really? I thought they were quite good defensively. So I remember Mark Gurhey, everyone sort of.
They got some good players, but as a whole, I've heard that they're probably the worst in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. I think they're just too negative, to be honest.
They were there last year, weren't they? They got unlucky against
Brentford. It was
Brentford, yeah.
It's hard to find that balance in the Championship, really, isn't it? Like you've got teams in the Prem who are sort of good at, like Man City, are obviously great attacking, great defending. But in the Championship, you either sort of build your team on one or the other. Like Norwich obviously build their team on just scoring a bunch of goals.
Which works a lot.
Swansea are building their team on defending a lot, which once you come up to the Prem...
Depends what type of manager you have.
And it's one of them. Then when you come up to the Prem, Norwich's defence gets exposed and Swansea's attack gets exposed. Or like when you went up and you were very sound defensively, but you just didn't score enough goals. So I think like what do you think is the most balanced team in there? Because I would say probably Brentford.
I'd say Brentford
Coming as a neutral.
Definitely, yeah. I think
they
Bournemouth,
seem good at both ends of the pitch, don't they?
Bournemouth are a bit shaky at the back.
Bournemouth have always been shaky at the back, even in the Prem days. I think they set a record for the first team to concede 50 goals 4 years in a row and not get relegated. Or something. It might have been 60 goals. I think it was something.
They kept a clean sheet at the Bridge once, though.
Yeah, they kept about 4 clean sheets at the Bridge. They always beat us. Even in the season they went down, they beat us. They
did.
Yeah, but yeah. So, would you say Brentford is probably the team to go up?
Yeah, and I'd want to see them go up, to be honest. I think they're a decent club.
New stadium as well. It'd be great to get the fans back in the
Ivan Toney deserves to be in the Premier League.
He's quality. He is quality.
Yeah, I feel like you don't want Brentford to go up, do you?
No, I like I said earlier, I want Barnsley to go up because they got the biggest ground out of all those, which is mental because they're probably the smallest team, like in recent history anyway. And 2, they're probably I know Swansea are the worst team, but they predict some people predict Barnsley to go down. But so I want Barnsley to go up.
So you can nick Ivan Toney as well.
So yeah, Ivan Toney. We need a striker. I know we got our sights set on Tammy Abraham, but I'd love Toney because he looks class and
just a bit of pace that Tammy doesn't have really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much did they sign him for?
What, Ivan Toney?
Yeah.
I think it was like 10 mil. Was it 11 mil?
I mean, Brentford.
To Peterborough?
Yeah, to Peterborough.
They paid 11 mil for him.
It was around that, yeah.
But I mean, their scouting department is so good, isn't it, Brentford? I mean, no matter what happens, if they don't go up, they're going to make a 20 million profit on him. If they do
Watkins,
go up, they'd say it's a great signing.
Brentford
promoted them.
Really well-run club.
Yeah. I mean, Ollie Watkins, obviously, last year they did the exact same thing.
Ben
Brought in
Rama.
the cheap.
Mopé
Ben Rama,
as well.
making... Mopé as well, a couple of years ago, making profits on just making these...
Who's their defender that went to Bournemouth? Mepham?
Chris Mepham, yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
He actually come through our academy, apparently, which I never
knew. Really?
Yeah, but... Yeah. Who's Brentford? Is it still... what's Brentford's manager? What's his name?
That's Thomas
Frank.
Thomas Frank, that was it. Because
the Danish one, isn't he?
I mean, is he sort of... Does he have this reputation for bottling now, though?
Yeah.
That's what I feel sort of follows him. It's probably going to drag over him in the playoffs, isn't it?
The game last season, Brentford, I think, maybe should have won against Fulham. It's going to be in the back of their heads if they get to the final again.
Especially against Barnsley.
They've been in a... Didn't they lose to you in a playoff semi-final a couple of years back?
Yeah, that was
and then you lost to Norwich in the final.
That was a quality night, to be fair.
Were you away? Did you go to it?
I went to the home leg. 3-0 and full Riverside. It was a good night, yeah.
But even last season before the playoff final, didn't they like... West Brom lost on the final day, and if Brentford had just won on the final,
I think a draw was enough as well.
Yeah, it was literally just if they just avoided defeat, they would have gone up.
Guess who they lost to?
I can't remember. Was it Huddersfield?
Was it Barnsley?
It was Barnsley.
Yeah.
Barnsley.
And guess who could ruin their hopes and chances again this season?
Barnsley again.
That'd be a great story.
So Barnsley are destined to beat Brentford in the playoff final. That's my prediction. I'm going to go Barnsley to beat Swansea and Brentford to beat Bournemouth and then Barnsley to beat Brentford in the playoff final. What about you, George?
I'm thinking that Brentford will get to the final again. I think Swansea might do it against Barnsley.
Really?
I don't want to see it happen. But I
might just sort of game management their way through.
Yeah, I think it could be like a 1-0 either way, to be honest.
It's like Barnsley are like this really exciting team like West Ham, and then Swansea are like this team like Chelsea who are a bit boring but are still quite good, and then it gets to the game and then Chelsea just edge it. And
Game management. I'd say that's class. I'd say that's class management.
That. I can see Brentford winning it, to be honest. I think it's their time now.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
And I do feel like the other 3 teams aren't as good as... Like, I know Fulham weren't very good last season. Were they? I think, did they finish 6th?
They finished... Was it 3rd? I think
it was 3rd, okay.
But they still weren't very good.
What, Brentford?
Yeah.
No.
Was it
Fulham?
No, Brentford finished 3rd.
Oh, was it Brentford 3rd?
Yeah.
Fulham
but I think
4th.
I still think Fulham last year are a better team than the other 3, other than Brentford in the playoffs this year. But
Bournemouth have a good team.
You can't write Bournemouth off yet. As
well.
I mean, have they still got Jonathan Woodgate as their manager?
Yeah.
Like, how has that come about?
Ex-Borough manager.
Yeah, exactly.
How did he get that?
I think it was just kind of a gap filler until the end of the season.
And then he started doing well.
He got the best out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to see him get to the Premier League. You know,
Who was it they had that massive scrap with? Was that Watford?
Yeah, it was Watford.
Yeah.
That was the one.
And Woodgate was on the pitch, and there was all
He's
kicking
mental.
off. Yeah.
He is.
Ex Real Madrid centre half.
Somehow. I mean, I feel like he was quite defensive at Borough, wasn't he? Is he sort of switched that round at Bournemouth?
Shall I tell you what? He tried to be attacking,
Yeah.
realised we didn't have the defenders and strikers for it, and then he kind of switched it, and it did not work. It was a bit of a mess. That's why he left, and we were about to get relegated.
But I guess
Stayed up.
it's one of them though, where it's sort of like, you know, first year in the job, you're always going to make mistakes. You need to learn from that mistakes, and that's I guess what he's done at Bournemouth. He's learned from those mistakes.
Like Lampard in his next job.
If Lampard starts doing well at Palace, he can just point to that period at Chelsea and say, well, there you go, I learned from my mistakes. I got the mistakes out of the way early, and you know, Scott Parker, if he finds another job as well.
If you were a Palace fan, would you want Lampard?
Yes, I would want him, to be fair.
I think
Roy Hodgson was just so defensive, wasn't
the issue with Palace is that I think Lampard does better with younger players, and Palace's squad is old.
Need a rebuild.
It's old.
They've got
Eze. They've got Eze, Tarek Mitchell.
Mitchell.
And that's it. Like, I mean, it is an ageing squad, and as I said earlier, they've got 16 players out of contract. So it's like it's going to be a tough rebuild job, and it's sort of, are you going to trust Lampard with a massive rebuild job like that? I think he needs to come into a squad. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of a job that would suit. I mean, if Graham Potter went to Tottenham, stick him at Brighton.
Do you know what?
Stick him at Brighton, maybe.
Do you know what would suit Lampard?
Ready-made squad. Yeah.
The England under 21 job.
England, I think
Probably
that would. But the thing is, I think that his attitude, he doesn't want to go there because he thinks it's a step down.
He turned Bournemouth down, didn't he?
Do you know what though? It's a good way to get into the England first team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
if he's storming it under 21s and Southgate's absolutely flopping it, which I think he probably will, then...
And he'll know a lot of the... Like, he'll know Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah.
I think, Reece James is in the senior squad now.
He's good with young players, isn't he?
Yeah.
At Derby, he done well as well.
That Derby team was great to watch. That playoffs against Leeds was a great game.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Middlesbrough don't like Leeds, do they?
We don't get along, to be honest. Obviously, Leeds' main rivals is United. But apart from that,
all
we're
the
kind
Yorkshire
of
clubs, and then it's sort of was there any historic reason behind the rivalry, or
I think it was there was always a lot of fan fighting in the 80s, 90s. It was kind of just that era. We didn't get along, and there's always that edge to it when we play Leeds. It's always quite a tight match.
You don't really have a direct rival, do you?
Not really.
It's like the Brighton and Palace one where they were like, neither of us really have a rival, so let's just pick each other and hate each other.
Obviously, we've got Newcastle
and Sunderland, but they hate each other.
They're against each other,
rivalry, but they're a bit closer to each other, so it's understandable.
Hull are close by.
We don't really count it as a kind of a rival or
Carlisle.
Bit far.
Miles,
we haven't got a proper rival, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I think Hull kind of want it to be a rival, but we're not really interested.
Well, Hull are back in the Championship, aren't they, next year?
Yeah, decent club, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, who do you think is going to be your rivals for promotion next year?
I think Fulham. Fulham are going to be up there.
Yeah.
You got to
do you think Scott Parker's going to stay?
Consideration.
I think even if he leaves, I think if he leaves, it'll be top 6. But they're not going to kind of smash
Scott
the
Parker's
league.
Top.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we won't know anything until the first day of the season because you don't know who they're going to sell and who they're going to buy.
Yeah,
if somebody buys if they buy Anguissa, if they buy Tosin, I think
they're not going to buy Anguissa.
I mean, I think Anguissa's already there, permanent. I mean, if another club buys Anguissa,
I was like, he's not staying. He's too good.
I can see like Tottenham signing him. Someone like Tottenham.
I want
like
Anguissa as a backup to Rice and Souček. I'd take him or Basuma.
He'd be very good for West Ham.
Yeah, I'd take him.
And then again, West Brom, obviously Pereira's going to go, I think.
Johnston, we named them earlier. What about teams outside the playoffs? Blackburn, they've got Armstrong and Dak, and I don't know if Harvey Elliott's going to do another season there.
I think
they still got Agrabayo as well.
They've got a good team. Armstrong did carry them a bit, but apparently he missed a lot of chances.
Oh, really?
He scored a lot, but the amount he missed,
but that's what all goal scoring strikers do, don't they? I mean, Harry Kane and Mo Salah miss the most chances in the league because they get
take
so many.
They take the most shots. Yeah,
that's true.
That's just how it works.
Who else
Timo
is-
Werner misses the most chances in the league. and doesn't
Luton.
score.
Luton, I think
Yeah.
might be down there, next season.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I want them to do well, to be fair.
And they did have a great season. I mean, I cannot believe that they're mid-table this year.
12th, I think they're 12th.
Cannot
now.
believe it. I actually cannot believe this. Unbelievable. Considering, are Derby going to come back?
I can't
No.
see it. If they keep Rooney,
They've got point deduction
Mm.
coming up.
I really want Wickham to stay in the league.
That would be
Equality.
great. That would
Equality.
be pretty great.
I think if the Derby point deduction happens, which it will happen, it's going to be next season.
I
So
think
sadly-
that whole club's in the shambles. I mean, they've had
Wickham,
3 failed takeovers, haven't they, Derby?
Yeah.
So haven't they got a new? Hasn't the guy taken over this time?
No, I think they've
Still
had
not.
that about 3 or 4 times, and it just keeps failing. So something weird.
I remember reading like Derby are going to have like a richer owner than Chelsea coming in to buy them and stuff every other year. But we've got one question from the Instagram from Jacob Hearn, who we had on a few weeks ago, and he's a Wickham fan. So he asked us a Wickham question, which Wickham are now in League One, so it's a bit of it's not really
As it
championship,
stands.
but
As
as
it
it stands, we'll stay. They're still in the championship. And what did he say, Daniel? Did you write it down or?
I did not write it down,
Okay.
but he basically just said, well, let's say theoretically, Derby do get this point deduction and they go down.
Yep.
What are Wickham's chances next year?
Going down again.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit of a fluke to get on the 40-point mark, to be honest.
They beat you 3-0.
I can't speak about that game. I can't speak about it.
That looked like a Middlesbrough team who knew they couldn't get playoffs and knew they weren't getting relegated.
On the
we didn't
beach.
have a shot on target.
Yeah, like a
Yes.
Middlesbrough team, Dale Fry was dreaming of his sunbed in.
Yeah, I mean, he is injured,
Spain.
to be fair.
Oh, he's probably already there then.
Yeah, we have had a lot of injuries, but that's not going to be any excuse, to be honest.
Yeah.
We haven't been good enough.
Yeah. Wait, what's it? Dan, say playoffs.
Playoffs.
Yeah, okay. Earlier you said it weirdly, like playoffs.
Right. Well, what I want to ask as well, I'm very intrigued because obviously I've heard a lot about Mark. Last year I heard a lot more because we had so many more players on loan in Championship. But this year I've heard a lot about Mark Gurhey. Apparently he's been the best centre back in the Championship. But obviously, I don't know if that's just Chelsea Twitter sort of trying to skew the numbers a bit. But what I want to know is just I want you to name me maybe 5 to 10 Championship players to look out for. Who you think are Prem ready now? And
Right.
they don't have to be promoted already. They could be plucked up in the summer from Luton, from Blackburn, from anywhere. I want you to name me 5 or 10 names to look out for.
It's a hard question, to be fair.
I think we've got the obvious ones like Emi Buendia.
There's Bundy and obviously players like that.
Let's
and
say
Dan
you
Juma.
can't pick a Norwich or Watford player.
Yeah, because they're basically Prem quality. Yeah.
Or the teams coming down, like Pereira or.
I think Kiefer Moore for Cardiff. He's a very good striker.
Okay.
I think
He's
Cardiff
not that young though, is he?
mid-20s, I think.
What-
Or is he? He might be high 20s, to be fair.
Yeah. What about the Lyndon Dykes?
He's very good for QPR.
Yeah.
He's a good player. I mean, I think QPR will be up there. That's one team I forgot to mention.
We haven't mentioned them yet. Yeah.
QPR and Cardiff are kind of obviously didn't get top 6 this season, but I think they'll be ready next season
Really?
to push on. Yeah.
Is Charlie Austin still banging them?
Yeah.
QPR.
For
as well.
QPR, yeah.
Is he on loan from West Brom or is he?
They must have signed it by now.
Yeah.
Must be a permanent transfer.
Yeah.
Who else?
We've
I
got
think
Daryl Dyke.
I think
Barnsley one?
he's
On loan, isn't he?
on loan. I
But I
think
think
he is.
they're going to buy him.
But he's very good.
Where's he on loan from?
Orlando City.
innit? Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Didn't expect that answer.
Barnsley's 2 centre backs. It's
Hillock.
and Anderson, is it? I think it's Anderson. Yeah, they're very good. They've got a good partnership. I can see them probably going off to the Prem next season if Barnsley, fall off short.
Who's the one who had dreadlocks? Who's the Barnsley centre back who had dreadlocks? Because he was great against us in the cup. I remember. I remember singling him out there in the day.
What is that?
Actually, can't
Styles? Styles? I don't
Styles
know.
is good.
Let me ask you about Barnsley, George, because obviously you're a Championship fan, so you'll know better than us, me and Dan. As Premier League fans, we've seen Barnsley's rise to playoffs, and it's been fantastic to have a look at. It's always great when a team who's not meant to be there gets there into the playoffs. What would you put it down to?
The new manager that came in,
Really?
Ishmael, I think his name.
They had that guy went to New York Red Bulls
Yeah.
last season. He was good, and I was like, oh, he's great. Why didn't we get rid of him? And then they got Ismail in.
Yeah, they must have knew what they were doing, to be honest.
It's
They
like
must have sacked
a
him.
Watford signing, that isn't it? Like manager signing it, it's
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah, he's very good. I think they're quite a direct team, which
Really?
a lot of people
Counter attacking.
counter-attacking, but quite long ball, to be honest.
Oh,
But I'd say
down the
that
channels
they
and-
played that sort of stuff against us, but it wasn't sort of like a long ball
It's
in
decent,
not the traditional
yeah.
way. It's like a controlled sort of, you know.
they pick out their man instead of
Yeah.
just lumping it and
I
hoping
think
Yeah,
they're a
it's
good
not
team.
just
Chris
a-
Wood flicks it on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is literally
Yeah.
just like the quickest way to the goal is, you know, from point A to point B, innit?
Yeah,
And
and
yeah.
they've got good strikers. Obviously, Dyke, Corley Woodrow, he's very good.
Yeah.
Corley Woodrow.
Ex-Fulham, yeah.
All Fulham fans don't hate him, but they always thought he's rubbish. But yeah,
He must have got better than at Barnsley.
Yeah. I think he must have been.
Yeah.
So have you got any more players that you got your eye on for the viewers to tell them to look out for?
I mean, what's Adam Armstrong like?
Any
Do
youngsters?
you reckon he's going to get plucked up by any Premier League team this summer, Adam Armstrong?
I think he should do. I think
We've been linked with him.
he's one of them strikers that probably would enjoy the Premier League just because he's quick. He can finish, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's just, some players are more suited to the Premier League than the Championship, and he's already banged the Championship. So
Yeah. If
Well, it's one of them where it's sort of like you watch some strikers score a lot of goals in the Championship and you think, too good for the Championship, not good enough for the Prem. And then you watch other ones score in the Championship and you think, well, he's ready. Like
Yeah.
Tammy, when he was scoring for Villa, you sort of
You could
thought,
see.
if he comes to the Prem,
it's more with
he'll be
loan
ready.
players, you sort of see that.
I
bring
guess
them
so.
back.
Yeah.
I think that Skip for Norwich has been really good this season. He's
very
probably ready to go into the Tottenham first team. Looks better than Harry Winks. And
What about James Garner, one at Forest? Been hearing.
I've had
he
mixed
was at
reviews
Watford.
about
He
him.
was at Watford, and they for the first half of the season.
Well,
I think
higher level than Forest, isn't
I
it?
think at Watford because they had that many centre midfielders, he was kind of not first choice, obviously.
Yeah.
But he didn't really get in.
Did he choose to terminate his loan there?
I think he did. Yeah, I think he wanted more minutes,
Yeah.
to be honest. But at Forest, he's banged it. At
Yeah.
Forest, he's very good.
What about, do they have Ethan Laird as well? The other Man United one?
I think they do. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about him, but I just
Me neither,
I've
to be
just heard
honest.
his name. I think to be honest, I only know the name from
Forest.
But
Like, you think you're bad supporting Middlesbrough, it may be worse if you're a Forest fan.
It's worse. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're actually. I mean, Middlesbrough are a big club as well, but Forest won Champions Leagues. They should be in the Premier League, and they've not been in. I've never seen them in the Prem, and I've
It was the
been.
90s, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was it since we've been there?
like even Derby, their rivals have been up
Yeah.
since, and even Huddersfield teams like
I think Forest
Wigan
went
were
up-
there. Wigan were there for like 9 years. Like
It's mental.
mental.
Yeah.
Who would you say in the last couple of seasons has been the best ever player in the Championship that you've watched?
I mean, since I've started going, I'd still say Adel Taarabt from
Right,
back
QPR.
in the day.
Yeah,
I remember watching him.
not Jared Bowen now. Oh,
He was very good as well.
yeah.
He scored a banger against us
Did he?
last season. Yeah,
Tell us about Taarabt.
just the skillful, just mindset he had. Just
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
on players.
He was one when you
Attack.
watched him was like
just
he
one
needs
of them
to be
get
up
you
in
off
the
your
Prem.
feet, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he play for anyone else in the Prem when he left QPR?
What Taarabt?
Yeah, no, he's
He was-
QPR's only English team.
I don't think so. Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
I think he was at
Ben-
Tottenham. You know.
But that was before.
Oh, that was before.
Yeah, he
wasn't
didn't
it?
play.
Yeah.
He didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't play.
But I think he went to Benfica
Yeah,
and
he's still there, I think.
he just put on the pounds a bit. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've turned him into like a holding mid now. I think.
Is he a
Benfica,
centre mid?
whenever they don't play him much, but when they do, they play him as like a sort of
Well,
destroyer.
Sporting have won the league for the first time since 2003 without
Mm.
Bruno, but they've got that Pedro Congalova as the old Wolves player who apparently is better than Bruno.
Was he at Wolves?
He was, yeah. He fell out.
Anyone
with Nuno.
Portuguese nowadays has probably been
Yeah.
at Wolves at some point.
He fell out with Nuno and Wolves released him. He's now worth like 60 million. So
He's mental.
Who would you say has been the Championship Player of the Year?
it's good question.
It's got to be Buendia.
Buendia.
It's the boring.
Top
or
of the
Tony.
league, yeah.
Buendia or Tony.
I'd go better than Dia just because Norwich won the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's got unreal assist numbers this year, doesn't he?
Yeah, his record just speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Because he's.
It's like I can't believe nobody bought him when he went down. Like it was like they talk about Arsenal wanting him, even Atletico Madrid. I think were linked with him.
Arsenal
It's
missed
like-
out then, I think. Because he would have fitted well in.
He's not going to Arsenal this season.
No, definitely not. I
definitely
mean, he's going to stick it out. I mean, if Norwich go down again, 100% he's going to go.
Yeah, that's when he leaves. It's
But-
just so obvious what he's going to do.
Mhm.
If Norwich go down, he's going to go
How old
next
is he?
summer. Young, he's 24.
I think he's 24, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got plenty of time left at the back. I mean, is Pookie going to have another Pookie season where he starts off and then just doesn't score from November onwards?
I was
Do you
gonna
reckon
say,
he's
I
more
think-
mature now? Do you reckon he's more
No,
experienced?
I think they need a new striker. I think Pookie's
Yeah.
one of those strikers who's
Yeah.
really good for the Championship. I think it gets to the Prem, he's just not cut out for it.
I think if Norwich don't sign a striker, they'll be straight back down again.
Yeah.
Which is it's sad because they play quite attractive football, but
Yeah.
just in the Premier League, you can't get away with it.
They dominated the Championship, really, didn't they?
Yeah, no one really challenged them.
No.
Even Watford didn't challenge them.
No, they got close, but that was when they're not really, no.
Yeah, I mean Daniel Farke, but you sort of hope that Daniel Farke sort of learnt from his mistakes. He sort of went up last time thinking like, if I just play the exact same brand of football, it'll get results.
Started off well.
So he might. It's one of them where it's sort of like you don't want to overcompensate. Like if he goes up and thinks, right, now we need to, because obviously last time we were here we leaked so many goals, we need to be more defensive, and then they just forget to score. Like it's such a hard balance to be a manager in it, especially coming up from the Championship.
Yeah, you need
I think he's a good manager.
I think Bielsa's done it quite well, where at the beginning of the season this year it was ridiculous. It was like 4-4 every week. They were winning 5-0, losing 5-0, and then I think he finally got a bit of game management and thought, right, I need to calm this down a bit.
Yeah.
They've been getting 1-0s, they've been getting 0-0s, just to sort of,
calm it down a bit.
Yeah, get him along the line. I feel like that's what Daniel Farke needs to sort of do, but I don't really want him to, because I want to see people like Buendia just have freedom.
I think he's quality, and he's got better since they were in the Premier League.
Yeah,
Obviously.
he wasn't that good. He was good, but he wasn't like tearing out. And then this season he's been much better, and then hopefully next season he's going to do well again.
But I think whoever gets promoted is going to struggle, because there's survival teams kind of in the Premier League. It's Palace's, Newcastle's.
But I think Palace could be in trouble.
Built to survive.
Southampton in trouble, I think.
Southampton could be in trouble, yeah. I mean, they've sort of been they always flirt with it until like December.
I mean, they were top in December.
Yeah,
I think Palace
they've sort of done
gone.
it backwards this year, and usually they struggle to December, and then they come back up. But this year it's gone the other way, isn't it? I think Hassan Hootel might just sort of give up and go for a different.
Especially if Ings leaves
challenge
as well, which I think he might, because he wants European football, doesn't he? Which is another option for us if we get Europe. As a striker, but I think Southampton could be in trouble because they've done so well. They came up with us in 2012, so this will be their ninth season, 10th season,
I think
It's
it's
impressive.
10th season in the Prem along with us. And they've had some great players over the years, and they've always managed to replace those players really well. And the last couple of years, the replacements just haven't been as good, and it's just been a bit. They're struggling. And I think Ings might leave this summer, and I think they need to. Did they have a good transfer market? We really don't know. Hopefully, at the start of next season, we will be doing we'll predict the Premier League table, and I'll predict our Championship table, and then we can see how we do at the end of next season.
Yeah, Chelsea winning the quadruple.
We can't do that until all transfers pretty much are made, because there's no way of telling before that. Although last season, Dan probably would have predicted Chelsea for win the league because they signed the coveted Timo Werner.
He's gonna get golden boot next year. I reckon. Golden boot.
He's going to score in the Champions League. I can see it happening.
I mean,
he's going to outshine Mbappe.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to get on with the Championship quiz then quickly?
Championship quiz, and then we've got some predictions to do as well, like we said.
Get back to the Prem predictions. All right. So, I mean, it's a bit of a shorter one. But
how many questions are there?
I've got 4 questions, so 2 questions each for their long-winded ones, and I've got 1 tiebreaker. I'll come prepared this time, just in case you drew.
Okay.
So, I'm going to start off with Joe, okay? So, this time it's going to be a point for each answer. So, there's going to be a list of teams or players, and you're going to get a point for each answer. I'm going to start them off at the end. Right, Joe.
Yeah.
There are 6 clubs with a record 4 promotions from the Championship. So, I think the Championship started 92, was it?
Yeah.
So it's from that onwards. So there are 6 clubs with a record 4 promotions from the Championship. Name them.
Norwich.
Norwich is 1.
I'm going to go. I think they have 3 though. I'm going to go Birmingham.
No.
I'm going with. Including this season.
Including this season.
Okay. I'm going. West Brom there.
West Brom are there. I think I'll give you 2 more strikes. We'll have 3 strikes and you're out.
Okay. So I've got 2 currently.
Yes, you got 2.
Sunderland.
Strikes. Sunderland is 1.
I want to say. I'm just trying to think. The thing is, before I don't really know the 90s, so I know that 2000s and 2010s, but 90s is past my mind. So I'm going to go with. I'm going to go Wolves.
Not Wolves. No.
Alright.
So you've got one more strike. 3 teams left to get.
I'm going... Burnley.
Nope. So that's 3 strikes. The remaining answers, George, can you get any? Just for pride. Middlesbrough is 1.
He said Norwich, didn't you?
Yeah. You said Norwich, yeah. So
Norwich.
It's Norwich, West Brom, Sunderland, Borough.
Newcastle.
Nope.
I was thinking Newcastle, but...
Palace and Leicester.
I wouldn't have got that.
I thought of Palace. I didn't think
Leicester
of
and
Leicester.
Palace were sort of yo-yo from like 93 to 98.
Yeah, it's the 90s ones that have done it. Middlesbrough probably should have got.
Yeah.
Right, George.
3.
Your first question. Neil Warnock has a record 8 promotions within the Football League with 7 different clubs. I'll give you the first one because it's impossible. Scarborough United back in like 89.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name the other 6 clubs?
It's a hard one, that, to be fair. Obviously Cardiff.
Cardiff is one.
QPR.
QPR is another.
Sheffield United.
That is another.
Yeah,
Are these all to the Prem or just
promotions?
EFL?
Just promotions in the Football League.
they're the 3 I would have got.
Is Carlisle one?
Carlisle is not one. That's your first strike.
Ooh. So I've got the 3 easy ones, to be honest. I'm trying to think who else he managed. He managed Crystal Palace, but I don't think he got promoted with them. He could have. I think he did. No, he didn't.
So many answers?
That's not. No, I'm not going to say Palace. Was Rotherham one?
Nope. That's your second strike.
I'm just
quite
gonna.
hard.
I'm gonna throw one out there and say Barnsley.
It's not Barnsley.
It's not
Actually,
Barnsley.
I knew this one when I was writing this question, which is why I thought it might be.
It wasn't Palace. He didn't take Palace up.
Yeah, no, it's Plymouth.
Plymouth.
I think that's why you think Carlisle because
Yeah.
Plymouth played Carlisle. I think or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas
They're
Jimmy
they're
Glass.
the most southern and most northern team in the.
Something like that. I think Jimmy Glass scored for Carlisle against Plymouth to keep them in the league, so they were sort of like intertwined. I think the other one's Huddersfield and Notts County twice.
I should have got Notts County, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got the last one, but I would have got the first 3. So we're drawing.
So it's 3 apiece.
Going into
3 apiece. Right, Joe.
Yeah.
There are 5 teams for this one.
Yeah.
Can you name every team to get over 100 points in a championship season?
Newcastle.
Newcastle is 1.
Wolves.
Wolves is not 1.
Isn't it?
They got 99 points. Yeah. That's your first strike.
Right. I'm gonna go. This good. This is. I got Newcastle. I'm not going to them.
Newcastle wasn't even the ref season, by the way. It's 2010.
Yeah. I knew they'd done it though. We haven't done it. Alright, if there's some 90s ones, I'm not getting them. But I'm gonna go. I got 2 more strikes. I know this is wrong. I have a stinky feeling that QPR's one.
Nope.
No. So I've got Newcastle. I think you're going to get this in the bag, George, here because I'm struggling. Think of teams who've done it. Burnley have done it, but I don't think they hit 100. Norwich, but I don't think they hit 100. I don't think Bournemouth hit 100 when they won it. Reading, I don't think Reading hit 100 because we were close to them. I think they got the 90s. Let's. I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. 2015. Burnley won the championship, I think. That's 2016 they won the championship. 2015 it was Bournemouth. 2014 It was Leicester.
Is that one of your answers?
Yeah.
That is number 2.
Yeah.
One more strike, 3 more teams to get.
Yeah. That's a big memory of that. 2013 was when QPR won the playoffs. Who won the league that year? Was it? I can't think who won the league that year when we came up. Who the year after us? Well, Reading won the year before. The year before that. 2011. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to give this away and just take a stab in the dark at who's come up a lot. I'm gonna go Norwich just because they come up a lot.
No, George,
Reading.
Reading got 106. That's a record.
What year?
It was 2005.
2006.
Okay.
5-6.
I knew it in 2012.
Fulham in 2001, which is hard.
Sunderland
in 99. Yep. So Joe,
Yeah,
you got 2 on that
5.
one. Right.
So
So George, you can either tie it up to go for a tiebreaker,
Yep.
or you can win it here.
or lose it.
So you've got 5 names to get. Can you name the top 5 championship goal scorers of all time?
It's a hard one, that.
See, I thought you...
What have... So altogether...
It's difficult.
So top 5 goal scorers
Since '92.
since 92.
I'll tell you what, this requires a lot of thinking.
We'll let George have some thinking time and we'll be back. Right.
I've got an idea in my head, you know. Ross McCormack.
Ross McCormack is one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
One of those, too good for the championship, too bad for the Prem.
There's a lot of them.
Yep.
Jordan Rhodes,
Jordan Rhodes is number 2, too good for the championship, too bad for the Prem.
Borough legend. Just trying to think of like Blackburn strikers and just random strikers. Is Glenn Murray one?
Glenn Murray is not one, that's your first strike. So you've got 3 names to get, you just need one more name to win it, and you've got 2 strikes.
Let's take it to
I've
the
got to be
tiebreaker.
careful here because I'm going to say a few names that probably aren't going to be in there. I mean, we've definitely not got another striker in there, so I'm not even thinking about them. Or it could be a Sombalonga, to be honest. I doubt he's got that many.
Is that one of your answers?
It's not. I'm not gonna.
Go on, say a Sombalonga.
Is Kevin Phillips one?
Kevin Phillips is not one. This is it, this is sudden
Phillips.
death now.
He had a big season in the Premier League
Yeah.
and
Premier League,
became
wasn't
top
it?
scorer.
This is sudden death now. Your next name is either to tie it or to win it.
Pressure that.
This is set
That's
up
pressure.
perfectly. You've got 3 names.
I'm surprised I got 2. To be fair.
2 good guesses. I want to hear this tiebreak question. Let's just say British Sombalonga and take it to the tiebreak.
I feel like a name is gonna pop up any minute, and I'm just gonna know it.
It's not a very good tiebreaker question, to be honest.
Yeah. Is it on the buzzer?
Yeah, it's on the buzzer.
Okay. We had a few weeks ago. Jacob pressed his buzzer and sat and thought about it.
Yeah.
10 seconds, 30 seconds.
I got it wrong anyway.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of strikers, and there's a lot of decent champ level strikers.
Joe, have you got any names in mind?
No.
Okay.
It's hard, isn't it? It's a hard.
I haven't been
I
thinking.
mean, to be honest,
honest,
I'm looking at these.
I've really been thinking.
I think I would have got Ross McCormack and Jordan Rhodes. These
Yeah.
other 3 are quite hard.
And they're the only 2 that kind of from this era, kind of.
Can I take some guesses if you don't want to guess? Or
I might just throw a guess out there.
Go on, this is it. Make or break now.
Chris Wood.
It's not Chris Wood.
Yeah.
David Nugent?
David Nugent is number 1.
He's on there.
Yeah, that
It's
was what
David
I
Nugent.
thought.
And then it's Billy Sharp is 4th. So it goes David Nugent, Ross McCormack, Jordan Rhodes, Billy Sharp. And would you believe this one? Lewis Grabban. He is 5th. He's got 100 exactly.
Lewis Grabban.
Lewis Grabban. I mean, to be fair, he's played for every club in the Championship, so he's
Yeah,
bound to
yeah.
have scored. If he scores 2 goals for every,
I can't
3 or
believe,
4 goals for every club in the Championship, that's it.
I can't
He's a
believe I
hundred.
didn't get Nugent.
Yep.
The
So
legend.
we've literally tied it up perfectly. So you've both got five names each. So this is on the buzzer now. Joe, what's your noise?
Blup.
Okay, George, what's your noise?
Blah.
Okay,
I ain't got a clue.
That's
Very
really
similar.
Cool. Okay. I just want you to buzz in whenever you're ready. Which of these stadiums has the highest capacity? The Cardiff City Stadium, Hillsborough, the Hawthorns, Ellen Road, or the Riverside?
Blah.
I had Joe first.
Yeah.
It's Hillsborough.
It is Hillsborough. That's it.
The last episode.
On the last question on the... you were so good. You were a David
Again.
Nugent away. You were a David Nugent away from winning the quiz, from being our first ever guest winner.
You knew it was Hillsborough, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just...
To
be honest, I wouldn't have known that.
When I heard
I've got to be
Cardiff, I thought you were going to give 4 stadiums that were like 30,100 or something. Like.
Well, to be honest, I don't know a single one of these, so if that question was easy to you, I can only apologise.
Yeah, it was quite easy.
Nugent let me down.
Nugent let you down.
Yeah. Well, Lewis Graben played for you.
Nah, he didn't.
Did he not?
Nah, he didn't.
No,
Nugent
Forest. You
did.
played Forest.
Oh, no, it's just red kits. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a tie.
What's that now? Is that 6-0 to the host, Dan?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I think again you and
honestly, there's no match fixing.
how many tie breaks have we gone to? We've gone to a lot of tie breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
This is not for your
every quiz
entertainment.
you've won has gone to a tie break.
Decent questions.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to make him a bit shorter, but you know,
Anyway,
if any of you lot did better, well done. If you fancy like taking us on in a quiz, or actually leave us some quiz questions below. I doubt anybody will, but don't leave us quiz questions. No, change my mind, because he'll just read them and he'll know the answers. So
yeah.
DM them to me instead at
Yeah.
b.wise.
Well, then next week I'm the quiz
Or
master.
DM them to
so
Joe.
DM them to me.
Whoever you think is a better presenter. That's gonna ruffle some feathers. So
I like Banton deck.
yeah. Should we do some Prem predictions then?
Yeah, Prem / FA Cup predictions. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
So
Let's rattle through 'em.
as we speak now, as we film, we're just probably gonna if this video goes up in about 2 weeks, you're gonna know that I'm too lazy to edit it. But as we're filming now, Man United are playing Liverpool. So what do we reckon this game's gonna
But
be?
are they? Has the game been called off because fans are outside?
We
had
honestly,
no
we're not gonna know.
idea.
Yeah, to be fair, this
Yeah.
may look stupid if we
Yeah.
upload it. It's like it still hasn't been played yet. But,
Great result earlier. Everton dropping points. I
Yeah.
was worried about that game.
I think if this game goes ahead, I think Man United are a much better team than Liverpool. So I think Man United are going to win 3-1. I'm going to go bold.
I'm gonna say 2-0 United.
I think fully strength Liverpool's probably a bit better than United actually, but without Van Dijk, with Phillips and Williams at the back, I think I can just see United 2-1. I think.
Okay. Then we've got Newcastle, Man City. Man City, obviously,
Won
first
the
game
league.
after being champions.
Do they need to play any good players?
I mean,
really?
are they going to be on the beach? Is Ferran Torres going to play up front?
Is it going to be the Torres, Aguero, Jesus,
Yeah.
Sterling with Rodri as a lone
Well,
midfielder?
that formation they played against us,
formation?
what was it, like a 3-3-3-1?
It's like,
It was
or like a 5-1-4.
I don't know what that was
Yeah.
meant to be, but
I
yeah.
can see Man City resting a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll be like a 1-1 or something. That's just assuming that Man City just have the foot off the gas. So I think that's going to be a 1-1.
I'm gonna say 2-1 City.
I'm going to go 2-0 City. I think they're the same against Palace. Newcastle was safe, nothing to play for either.
Yeah.
And Palace, Man City just have strong. Even their second team is stronger than Newcastle's first team. So
Yeah. Okay. So we've got Burnley Leeds next up. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, Burnley have sort of started attacking recently.
Decent.
So I feel like
they're average against us.
every single time Burnley come on here, I predict a 0-0. And but they've been scoring goals recently, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 Burnley.
You would predict Leeds to lose as well.
I do actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just because they're so gung ho, but they haven't been gung ho since I started doing the predictions.
No, they've
really.
been actually quite good defensively.
Yeah, maybe a 2-1 Burnley. I'll still go 2-1 Burnley. That's my first
I
answer.
can see it being tight. I can see it being probably 1-1.
Yeah, I like 1-1.
Yeah.
I think 1-1.
Southampton Fulham, boring game,
Nothing.
dead game.
Devil's down.
2-0 Southampton. Danny Ings-Brace.
2-1 Southampton.
I'll go be different. 1-0 Southampton.
Brighton West Ham. Bit more on this one.
Oh,
A lot more on this one.
I actually don't want to watch it. It's just so nerve-wracking. I want
Yeah.
European football so bad. If we lose, we've won 1 in 4. Not the greatest of runs, but we've got 3 looks on paper easy games.
Do you know what, Joe? I'm going to be nice to you. I think whenever I sort of expect West Ham to drop points, they just don't. I think I'm going to go for something exciting. I'm going to go for 3-0 West Ham.
But Brighton are a bogey team. You know, he's still never beaten them since they got promoted.
Well, there you go. This could be your day.
Even though in the Championship
Yeah.
League they beat him 6-1.
This could be your day.
I
Yeah.
can see it being quite easy for West Ham. I think Brighton, they haven't got anything to play for. Just
a few players out.
yeah,
And nobody can
I
finish
can
their
see
dinner at that club.
a 2-0 West Ham. To be honest,
Yeah, I'm looking at this. It's a Saturday night, 8 p.m. I might just go to the pub and not just not watch it and just look at the score at the end.
Yep.
Because I'll be just a nervous mess. I just won't enjoy it. If it's like 1-0, we're hanging on. It's not enjoyable at all. If you're at the stadium, it's a bit different. If you're in the ground, but when you're watching on TV, I feel
when you're in the ground, you feel like you can sort of influence. You can influence.
It goes a bit quicker. I think at home it goes so long now we can't go to the games.
Yeah, it's one where it's like at the stadium. If a team has their ball in your half, like on the halfway line, when you're in the stadium, you're like, I mean, look how far away the goal is. They've got no chance here. But on telly, you're sort of thinking like, oh god, any second here they could play a defence splitting line. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, did you give your prediction anyway?
No, I think we'll win. I have to go with that.
Yep.
And I don't think it'll be as big as 3-0. I think if we do win, it'll be by a 1-goal margin. So I'm gonna go. What did you go 2-0?
I went 2-0.
I'm gonna go 1-0 then.
Okay. Crystal Palace Villa.
Both teams have nothing to play for.
Well, I mean, Villa still think they could get Europe, even though they can't.
Boyd does. Villa can't get Europe. They're on 49 points, and I think Everton are in 7th and 56.
Yeah, right.
So they're 7 points up behind. Yeah.
I'll still go 1-0 Villa. 1-0 Villa. I think Jack Grealish will probably. Is he going to start that one?
Is he back now, Grealish?
No.
Well, he was on the bench tonight. I don't know if he came on.
Was he?
But yeah,
I don't think he did.
He might be back, so I'll go 1-0 Villa.
I can see it being 3-1 Villa.
I'll go 0-0. I think it'll be like tonight, just boring. Because
Yep.
Those games are either low scoring because the attackers can't be bothered to attack, or it's going to be high scoring.
Defenders can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Yep. Spurs Wolves. Speaking of two teams who are boring, 2-0 Spurs. Harry Kane brace because he's in my FPL.
I'm going to say 1-0 Spurs. I just think it's going to be...
I'm going for another Spurs loss just because I really want them to lose.
Yep.
And I'm going to go for just Ryan Mason just doesn't have a clue what he's doing because he's a youth coach.
I forgot he's there, to be honest.
And I'm going to go 2-1 Wolves. And they always play well away at Spurs as well.
They've got a decent record
I'm
against
going to
Spurs,
go away Wolves win.
Right. West Brom Liverpool. I mean, 4-0 Liverpool. Just why not? I mean,
3-0.
West Brom only ever turn up against us. It's pretty embarrassing.
I'd say 3-0 Liverpool, yeah. I think West Brom are just... They're obviously down now, so...
Yeah,
I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
I think the issue... What I've just said there, the issue is, like, whenever I say, like, oh, West Brom only ever turn up against Chelsea, I think the issue is the common denominator is it's always Chelsea. I think sometimes our attitude just stinks in the little games. Like, last night, Arsenal were a terrible team. And we just couldn't be bothered.
Just expect to win.
And it's like, because the other team can sense that we can't be bothered, they all get excited and play like it's their cup final. And it's like, I don't know, I think our attitude needs questioning sometimes.
Well, that reminds me, I want us to sign Callum Robinson so he can just play in 2 games a season.
I want us to sign him and then loan him out so he can play 36 games and not against us. That's it. Everton, Sheffield United. 3-1 Everton.
2-0 Everton.
I think we can afford Everton to win that because they've got their last 2 games are, I think it's Wolves and Man City. So hopefully they lose to Man City, and I think we'll finish above them just. So I'm going to go 1-0 Everton.
Okay. Man United, Fulham. I'm going to go for another 3-1.
2-0.
Man United, Fulham.
2-1 Man United.
Yep.
Fulham have got nothing to play for.
Southampton, Leeds. You know what? I'm going to be nice. Leeds, 3-2 winners. Why not?
Is it at Southampton?
Yeah, it's at Southampton. Bit of an exciting game. I'll go for 3-2 Leeds.
Is it rescheduled? No.
I'll go 3-2 Southampton.
I'll go Leeds win again, 3-1 Leeds. But Daniel, you predicted the reverse leg. This is a Southampton win.
There you go.
Yeah, I
away teams. Brighton versus Man City. I think this is going to be less of a on the beach game, maybe. So there'll still be about 2 weeks left. 2-0 Man City.
I think Man City will start putting more of their first team players in just to get them ready for the final. They're not going to not play them completely.
Yeah. Although then I think they're not at home, so it's not the trophy left there. So they won't want to put on a show, but still, 2-0
I'm going to go 2-1 Man City. Yeah, I think the big game against Everton, they'll play the first team.
Yeah.
I think 3-0 City, to be honest.
Okay. Now this one is tough to call. This one is tough to call.
Is this the one where they're playing each other a few days before? But
this is Chelsea-Leicester. So this is on Tuesday.
Well, it really depends on the cup final result.
Yeah, I mean...
Is it at the Bridge?
It is at the Bridge, but I mean, we need to win. If we win, we're guaranteed top 4.
I think Chelsea have more squad depth, so I think whatever team you play, it's gonna be hard for Leicester. But
I just think we play better against better teams because they come and attack us. Like Arsenal last night just sat back and we were never going to break. We were never going to open them up because we just don't have a goal scorer. Like we're in May and our top goal scorer in the league has 6. Jesse Lingard's got 10 in like 11 games.
9, is it?
It's like 9 in 10 or 10 in 11, something ridiculous. It's like we need a goal scorer, but I think I'm going to go for a 1-0 Chelsea. Just a very cultured, man-managed Tuchel win, really, that he's been quite good at recently, apart from Arsenal.
I can see it being 2-0 Chelsea then, because I think just defensively you are very sound.
I just think we're sound when we play Rudiger. When we play Kurt Zuma, we're not defensively sound.
Yeah, you never know what Zuma's going to do you, really?
Or Jorginho. I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea as well.
Okay. Everton Wolves. This one could be a bit of a... This one's either going to be boring or exciting, I reckon.
Again, I want Everton to lose, and I think I need Wolves to just turn.
I mean,
we need Wolves to absolutely turn into what they were last season and last couple of years, but sadly they got no Neto.
Is Raul Jimenez ever going to come back, by the way?
Next season.
Is it next season I'm talking about? Right.
I'm going to go draw. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to go to Wolves do a job away at Everton.
Yeah, I haven't done many draws.
Everton are rubbish at home as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-2 because I just realised I haven't predicted many draws. I'm going to go for a 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 2-1 Wolves. I think Wolves' counter-attack. Yeah, I think Adama might just turn up in that one.
Yeah. He's started putting some end product in now in the last few games. Adama after doing nothing all season.
Well, you have to now they've got no attackers.
Exactly. Newcastle, Sheffield United. I mean, if we said this about 3 months ago,
can we all just say 0-0?
No, but I feel like it's one of them where it's like 3 months ago it's the most guaranteed 0-0 because they were both sort of were cagey. But now it's like, I mean, what the hell are either of them even doing playing football anymore? So it might be exciting.
I reckon Newcastle edge it 1-0. I'll go actually.
I can see it 2-1 Newcastle, to be honest.
I'll go for a 2-0. I'm going to go for a 3-0 Newcastle, actually.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
St Maximan.
Sheffield United.
St Maximan with the chains off is fun to watch, isn't
Yeah.
it? When he's not when they're not being forced to defend for 90 minutes. Tottenham Villa. I'm going to be a good game. To be fair.
I'm going to have a draw 1-1.
Okay. I'm going to go for a 0-0.
I can see it being a 1-1, to be honest.
I like how I just said it could be an exciting game, and we've all predicted a 0-0 and a 1-1. Palace Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal are probably going to lose this one because they've just beaten us. So.
Yeah, I think we're going to go 2-1 Palace.
Yeah. I mean, Zaha always turns on against Palace, against Arsenal, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Always.
I might say a 2-2. I can see it being
2-2.
I think Arsenal might bottle it though.
3-1 Palace. I think it'd be quite funny watching Arsenal fan TV after that. Burnley Liverpool. So Liverpool could get their revenge on losing their unbeaten home run, which they then decided to lose 6 more after that.
Hopefully
so it
it's
doesn't
just
really
a
matter.
Burnley masterclass and it's like a 1-1.
Yeah, I can see that. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be 3-1 Liverpool. Mo Salah, couple.
2-1 Liverpool, I reckon.
And then our last Prem game. So this is going to be quite an important one. West Brom, West Ham.
Again, I think this will be much easier than the Brighton game.
Just because West Brom are a worse team.
Yeah, I'm just going to go 2-0 West Ham.
Okay.
I can see it being quite a tight game, but a 1-0 West Ham.
I'll go for a 1-0. And then
we're dropping points to West Brom, relegated already.
Hey, dropping points to West Brom is not easy, okay?
We're not Chelsea FC. If we were Chelsea, then I'd understand.
Yeah,
if we were called Chelsea.
We only conceded 8 on this season. 25% of their goals this year have come against us.
Yeah.
And then we've got the big one. So we've got the FA Cup final on Saturday, which actually I'm going to.
Give a wave to the camera. And he's going to vlog it for us as well. So
I'm not going to vlog it because I'm going to be in a bad mood after the Arsenal game. But, I might...
We're not doing vlogging just yet. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future
when there's full stadiums back. Well, I think vlogging would be quite good for like an England game or something. Because obviously I'll be way too tense at a Chelsea game.
Yeah.
Because
relax.
I never trust this team. I mean...
not Chelsea.
I never trust this team enough to relax to be able to do something like that. But I mean, what do we think about the FA Cup final? I mean, we are the favourites.
Yeah, although it could go either way. Leicester are known.
Could go either way. I mean, Iheanacho's in a great hot streak. Kasper Schmeichel's a great goalkeeper. I think Johnny Evans is injured, which is quite key to how they play. I think their defence is
back in it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Sancho's not He's not been as good as last year, and I think Johnny Evans. Fofana's quite good, but I think Fofana needs a Johnny Evans next to him at the moment because he is so young and
just
naive.
Steady next to him.
He is naive and reckless.
What goalkeeper are you playing, Dan?
We are going to be playing Kepa. But
So
I wouldn't blame Kepa at all for the Arsenal goal.
no.
That's entirely Jorginho and Zuma.
Just not looking.
I mean, I think Kepa did well to move out of the way of the goal.
He's looked better, hasn't he, Kepa? When he's
less
It's just
pressure.
all of our defenders have looked.
Yeah.
He doesn't have as much to do. When he had a poor defence in front of him, you could tell he was shaky. Now he's got a more solid defence. He's a bit more confident. But yeah, I still think it's a mistake. I still think we should be playing Mendy, but we're not going to be. But I think if we play our best team, we have Rudiger, starting Kante. Obviously, is just. I mean, honestly, I'm not joking. Kante's been one of the best players in the world in 2021, hasn't he? I think if we win both these trophies and France win the Euros, he could easily win the Ballon d'Or. I think deservedly so. He could win the Ballon d'Or. He's just one of the greatest.
Probably could, to be honest. Yeah.
And he'll be against his former team. I think Ben Chilwell will have a good game. I think he'll be fired up for it. So I think
I'm going. They beat you earlier in the season.
Yeah, but that was when the Lampard era ended.
Yeah,
I think he managed one game after that in the FA Cup, but that was like a pre-season game. Yeah, that was signalled the end. We were so poor that day.
Yeah,
so poor, spineless really. And I think the issue is I don't trust his team for meaningless league games, but I trust his team in big games.
I would as well.
Just because I think just the players just have an extra motivation when they know that something's on the line. Which, I mean, is quite selfish because it shows they're sort of playing for themselves. They're playing for their own personal glory rather than helping the team. Like, I mean, none of the players last night seemed to know that we were playing against a London rival.
Yeah.
But in a cup final, everybody's going to know they're going to be playing in a cup final. But I think it's going to be a 2-0 Chelsea. Hopefully, well, that's what I'm hoping for. But
I'm going to go just to be a bit different and hopefully, because I don't really like Chelsea.
Yep.
Is a 2-1 Leicester.
Yep.
I can see it being a 1-0 Chelsea, to be honest.
I would hate a 1-0. I
can just see it happening.
A win?
Huh?
You win?
I mean, I would love it, but I mean, I'd hate to. I remember when we won the FA Cup against Man United 1-0. I think Man United
was that
scored.
the Hazard one?
Yeah, Man United scored 2 or 3 offside goals, and it was like, oh, can we just score a second, or can we stop conceding these offside goals? Yeah. You're trying to give me a heart attack.
Do you know what I'm going for? I'm going for. Do you remember the Arsenal Birmingham Cup final?
Yeah, I'll be Femi
1-1 last minute, and it'll be a mix-up between Zuma and Kepa at the back.
Oh, if we play Zuma,
It was about Femi Martin's Nigerian.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So Iheanacho set up to bang it home after a Zuma and Kepa mix-up at the back.
Honestly, if I turn up there, I know I haven't been to a Chelsea game since March last year. But if I turn up and look at the team sheet and Zuma starting, I'm getting the trench shit back home. Honestly, like. I mean, he's a lovely guy. His middle name's Happy. He's a happy guy, but goodness me, he's not ready. He's not ready for Chelsea anymore, is he?
I think just in these finals, Tuchel knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
You would hope so.
What he's doing, yeah.
You would hope so, yeah.
How many finals has he won though?
Well, I mean, he won the German Cup against Bayern, I think.
Did he?
With Dortmund.
Did he?
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, a cup final with PSG.
I think they're playing tonight. Dortmund Leipzig
Shield.
are playing in the final of the DFB Pokal.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously, I think even last year, obviously, Tuchel lost the Champions League final, but I mean, Bayern were just unstoppable.
Yeah, it's
really.
probably the same this season for Tuchel. I think they're playing unstoppable.
I mean, Man City aren't unstoppable though.
Have you beaten their full strength team yet this season? It's a totally different set of kettle of fish. Playing the players that you've played, and then
I think
the players, that team. If City turn, I don't really like the phrase "if they turn up," but it's true. If City turn up on full form with the best team, they probably will comfortably beat Chelsea.
Yeah, but that is a very big if as well.
But Pep Guardiola in finals, Manchester City in finals. They very rarely don't turn up. It's the semi-finals which Pep and City always flop, like they did against Chelsea or against Arsenal last season in the FA Cup. Whenever they get to a final, they get it done. So that's why for the Champions League, we'll do a Champions League final one in a couple of weeks' time.
It's gonna be a tense one.
But that's why because of their record in finals. I think it'll be a great game. But I think City and Edge, we'll get to that when we get to it. So yeah, Dan's off to the game for the first time in 12 months. I've managed to get myself some tickets for West Ham Southampton last game of the season as well. I don't know if Middlesbrough win the playoffs, you could maybe have also be going. But you've got next season, George.
Next season to get the playoffs.
That's what I'm excited for.
So yeah, I'm buzzing to be back. Dan's not quite back at the Bridge at Wembley, but it's probably
second home, isn't it, for Chelsea?
Yep. So this will be my 19th trip to Wembley. Actually,
I've been about 19 times, but only twice to watch West Ham.
Yeah, once to watch Borough and we lost. So.
Was that against Norwich?
Yeah, it was against Norwich.
That's a good question, actually.
If someone offered you at the beginning of the season, you could get promoted by finishing second, or you get promoted by winning the playoff final, what would you take?
I'd take playoff final.
You take playoff final.
Best way to
but then you sort of you could finish 6th, so you could have quite an average league season.
Yeah, but it's the best way to go up.
More exciting.
It would be. Yeah, it's
more exciting.
Yeah. But I guess it's one of them. Could you, if somebody offered you guaranteed second place now, or guaranteed playoff final? So you're not guaranteed to win it. You just guaranteed to win the final. You're going to take second.
1 million because we're bottle drops and
I was going to say. I think that's probably the sensible answer. It's not the exciting answer.
If you're guaranteed to go up, you take playoffs.
Yeah.
Did you know though? Fun fact about the new Wembley. It's not that new anymore, but it's still about 15 years, a bit less maybe, years old. I think there are like 6 or 7 teams, maybe less now. There's like 6 or 7 like a year or 2 years ago that have never in the Football League that have never played in the new Wembley. Blackburn are one, I think.
Nottingham Forest are one.
Forest are one, yeah. There was one in the Premier League. Newcastle were one until Tottenham started playing their home games there, and then now they've obviously played there.
Well?
It does, yeah, because they have played there. But so Newcastle were one, I think, but they've never been to semis, or when they were in the Championship they went up, they won it, so they've never had a chance to. But like, teams like Blackpool go there every year, don't they?
Yeah.
'Cause Blackpool are playoff kings, aren't they?
Yeah.
Must be exciting being a Blackpool fan. To be honest.
It's half exciting, half just terrible.
Dead,
yeah.
Well, and also on that note, the top 3 scorers at Wembley history. First is Harry Kane, who played home games there for 2 seasons. Second is Heung-min Son, who played home games there for 2 seasons. Third, the King, Didier Drogba. Thank you for watching. Do you want to say here's the outro, George?
Here's the outro.
I'm pointing to point.
Yeah, it's point yours.
Yeah.
To where?
Just anywhere.
I
Just
got a clue.
do it again, George.